Hi everybody, this is Andy here. Just a comment really, a response to macgyvergg's video, important message about featured videos, something he obviously feels very, very strongly about, and I can see exactly where he's coming from. A lot of the points he mentions I totally agree with. I think the featured videos nowadays, there's not much in it. I know this is a subject that I know I've covered before, and I know lots of other people have covered before in over the past few months, people talking about the direction that YouTube was going in before it was bought out by Google, but obviously it's probably a bit more pertinent now that it has been sold, and Google want to get their money back, don't they? Their 1.3 billion or whatever it was that dollars that they spent on the site, so they want to get their money's worth. I'm sure they do. But yeah, I don't like a lot of them. I must admit I tend not to watch any, or certainly not very many of the featured videos. There aren't many that appeal to me. As you quite rightly say, sensible enough to point out that these people have got, the paid ad type of people have got just as much right as anybody else has, and I'm glad you've made that point. That's very valid and a sensible point of view. But most of the YouTube users, viewers, etc., aren't really interested in a lot of those things. As you say, they're advertising, and that tends to put me off for a start. Whether it be, we're going back to the old Paris Hilton thing, I suppose, people promoting themselves. You've got all the other avenues to promote themselves. The normal sort of man on the street type of thing, person like ourselves, who are putting ourselves up here on the site, whether it be blogging or original content through little films and movies or animation, etc., that they make. This is our only outlet, isn't it? And I think that's what we don't like. People coming in, treading on their toes, bulldozing their way in, splashing their cash, as they say, and bulldozing in over the top and sort of getting in there ahead of us. Whether we're all sort of striving to be sort of big superstars and that, I don't know. Whether I suppose there's a lot of people out there who aren't particularly aren't particularly interested in being featured on the featured section there. But there again, it is nice to get some recognition if you feel that you're doing a decent job, or you're having a go, and it's nice for someone to sort of give you a little pat on the back and get a few hits and a few subscribers. I mean, I've only got about, I think it's 13 at the last count, so I've got a long way to go till I get to the 20,000 that you were talking about on your video. But just on the point, I actually saw the other day in one of the sort of financial pages of a paper over here in Britain, about now that Google bought out YouTube, it's now a bigger concern. It's going to be a bigger target. It's made a lot of news. There's a lot of money floating about in there. Obviously Google have got a lot of money behind them that they can use. There's a drop in the ocean. They did suggest that maybe they wouldn't care what happened to YouTube because they could write the money off and got rid of a rival, I suppose, but I don't honestly think they'll do that. But the point they made is there's a lot of copyrighted material that comes onto YouTube. I know the original owners went down the avenue of trying to get agreements with music companies, Universal, etc., to get the videos put up there properly, officially, if you want to call it that, which is something that isn't done a lot at the moment. There's a lot of videos out there that are put up there by the normal viewer, ourselves. We've got them on our DVDs, or we download them from wherever it might be, and then people are putting them up there, and there's a lot of copyright issues that involved there. You've got a lot of TV shows that get copied and put up, sports bits and pieces and things like that. A lot of this Japanese stuff as well, or Oriental stuff. I don't know if it's Japanese or Chinese, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of that isn't up there legally either, and I think the site are going to have to be very careful about that. They might become a target now for all sorts of litigation and things like that. So with a bit of luck, that sort of thing might actually change it. It might actually sort of make the owners now, the new owners, YouTube or whatever the hell they're going to call it, it might make them think about it. They might start looking at this a bit more. But I think it would be a good idea, going on your lines there, that maybe they could take what you've said, and a lot of other people have said as well, and just revamp it a bit now. As you quite rightly said, it is us, the people that use the site now, the people that post all these videos, that have made it what it is. We've evolved the site, if you want to call it that. Without us, there wouldn't be a site, would there? So, and as you quite rightly point out, without us and all the thousands of hits and us keep visiting and putting our bits and pieces up and watching the videos, the advertisers wouldn't be interested in the first place, would they? So maybe that's the way to do it. But it'd be nice if they could just change the featured section, put their advertising bits in there, because fair enough, they've got to pay their rates, etc., haven't they, for the bandwidth and all that sort of thing. But just feature other people, have a 50-50 split or something like that, and just feature people from all the different sections, whether it be the bloggers, the animation creators, the sort of little movie things that people do, as long as it's original content, it's not paid for content, things like that. Maybe that's a way around it. But while I was just sort of scribbling down a couple of things earlier about this, I did actually think of something else. That now that it's been sold off and we're all worried about the way that this is actually going to go, maybe we can actually just create a new site. I've even got a name for it. Why don't we just create NewTube? Just for ourselves, for the people that you're talking about, all the original people doing blogs like this, doing this type of thing, all the original content, the interesting content, if you want to call it that. And maybe there's an entrepreneur out there that wants to have a go at doing that. NewTube, I'll patent the name, I think, for that. But maybe Renetto, if you're watching, maybe that's the sort of thing you and your mate want to get involved with there. You can create a new site purely for us, purely for the free content, purely for the original content, if you want to call it that, for the ordinary person. How it would make its money, I don't know. We'd have to have ads around the side, I suppose, but not to accept advertising videos as such, and all these big multinational companies promoting their wares on here, I suppose. But just a thought. But very good video, macgyvergg. Did enjoy it. I hope it's a big success. I hope you do get something out of it. I hope the people up there do take a lot of notice, and if anybody else is watching this, please post a response to MacGyver's one. Don't bother with this one, and all the comments, put them on his, and then maybe we can get a ball rolling there. So well done for your video. I do fully support your cause. Thank you very much. Goodbye.